hearing that story. There's so much courage.
He said the reality didn't even set in until he was in the back of that ambulance being treated for his wounds, and he thought about his 4-year-old daughter.
Where them chicks at? Where them haters? Where them hoes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying? Cecil.
Oh my gosh, to take on a gun with your bare hands takes a lot of guts and you know all the difference too.
James Shaw Jr. definitely embodies the spirit of Taekwondo and the spirit of the martial arts in general. Definitely from Taekwondo, he showed some indomitable spirit. Now, I know he doesn't consider himself a hero, but I do. He said he did not have any specific combat training, but I don't know if that means that he never trained in a martial art either. But to me, he's a hero, and what he did and the type of courage that he showed, even if it was for selfish reasons in his opinion, that is what I think we need to try to build up civilians to be able to do, to be able to protect themselves from danger. Now, what's interesting about his selfishness, or what he feels was his selfishness, by learning and having the ability to defend himself, he was actually able to protect everyone else. Because in defending himself from evil, he stopped evil so that evil could not further hurt any more people. So let's take a little bit, a clip from one of his interviews and take a look at it. This is why I train in martial arts.
James Shaw Jr., the customer now being hailed as a hero, is with us now. James, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
James, take us back to that moment inside the Waffle House when you first heard those gunshots. What went through your mind? What did you do next?
When I first heard the gunshots, so immediately it was like, what's going on type of feeling. And then I looked back and I saw a gentleman near the entrance door of the Waffle House, and then I kind of jumped from the high countertop seats, and I jumped towards the bathroom. The bathrooms just seemed like a bad idea. Actually, in that hallway seemed like a bad idea. It's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. And I was just kind of like, he's gonna get us either way, or he's gonna get me either way it goes. So I was just waiting for an opportunity. I was just waiting for a chance. So in that, when I saw the barrel down, I just saw my opportunity and I attacked. And I took it, and it worked out for myself. It worked out for myself and others that were actually in the Waffle House at the same time.
How did you manage to wrestle the gun away from him?
So when I ran through the swivel door acted kind of like kind of like another hit, another layer, and it pushed the gun down. So the barrel of the gun actually bumped down, and it was aimed towards the ground. And once it was aimed towards the ground, I held the gun down, I think with my left hand, and I think I was maybe punching or hitting or whatever I was doing with my right hand. And then once he released it, he had it at one point in time. He had it in one hand, and then when he had it in one hand, I just took it from him with both my hands, and then I took it and I threw it over the countertop. And then I was still trying to get out, so I took him and myself out of the Waffle House because I knew my best chance of surviving was outside. Mind you, he was nude, and he just had a jacket on, so I didn't know if he had another weapon on him, like a knife, or he might have had a handgun, but I knew if I could get outside that I would be all right. And luckily, I guess he only might have had the assault rifle. And then later on, I did learn that he was he did actually have other magazines in his gun, and he could have reloaded. So,
James, how are you this morning?
I'm glad I acted.
How do you feel?
I'm still got bumps and bruises. I woke up this morning and I found another scratch on my back. I'm all right, just a little sore, but I'd rather be sore than severely shot. I had a bullet graze my upper right elbow. This morning I actually got up thinking about the people that had passed, the 4 people that had passed, and I was thinking about the other victims that were in Waffle House, and I'm hoping that they are just as, people are just as concerned about them as they are about me.
James Shaw Jr., I know that you don't consider yourself a hero, but a lot of folks there in that Waffle House that night, and a lot of folks watching this morning would probably disagree. Thank you. Thanks for what you did that night.
No problem.
Definitely someone who deserves a standing ovation if there's one to give. Now, when I saw the rifle, I was hoping it was that kind of rifle because that's actually the type of rifle I know I've been trained to stop. Now, please don't say I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, but this is what they taught us in the military. You see how the end of the rifle has a metal thing, and then below that is a plastic part? That's the plastic part is what you grab when you're holding it and aiming it and shooting it. When you grab a rifle from someone, you're supposed to grab that plastic part. Don't grab the metal. Plus, that plastic part is a little bigger and it's easier to grab. At worst, there might be some gas escaping from the plastic part, especially if like one of the rounds malfunctions and the propellant just comes out. But you can grab that part of a gun and not burn your hand. Now I know why they used to make us drill in boot camp, scream the temperature of the end of the rifle, and say it was an air-cooled weapon and all this other stuff. That's to drill into your head that if you grab the metal part, it can burn your hand. Now, what I'm going to say is going to go a little bit counter to military training. Now, see, I can see why they would tell you not to grab the metal part if you're in war, because you can't afford to be running around with a burnt hand. I don't know if you've seen other interviews of him. He had his hand wrapped up because he got some serious burns. And you don't need a third-degree burn in a combat zone. But if you're a civilian, you know, and you're not going to have to go right out and fight in a combat zone, I think he did right for a civilian. Just grab whatever you can and get that thing away from him, because they can patch up your hand and then send you on your way home. But see, if you're in a war zone, you can't afford any injuries at all. They could get infected by the time you get distracted. You could die from that. So you don't want to do that. But if you're unfortunate enough to be in a situation where you have to grab a gun from someone, grab it by that plastic part, not by the metal part at the very end, because that's going to be too hot. Now, I'm going to call this troll logic. Troll logic would say that if he had any martial arts training, there's two things troll logic would say. First, it would say that if he had any martial arts training, that his martial arts training failed because he got injured against somebody with a military grade rifle. I said in another video, you survive, your training worked. I'm sorry. Somebody coming at you with a weapon, you lived, your training worked. Even if you just fell back on your instincts, your training worked. You're alive, aren't you? You're alive. You're still able to walk, talk, work, move, and live your life. Your training worked. And again, he said he didn't have any specific combat training. He's just gifted. And there are people who are gifted. They're naturally gifted singers. Some people are more athletic than others. Some of us are smarter than others. Some of us are more patient than others. Some of us are more creative than others. Some of us really don't need martial arts. Some of us really do. Now, another thing about troll logic is going to come from what I just said. Troll logic will say, see that? You see what he did? He proves you don't need to learn martial arts and all that fancy smashy stuff. Look what he did with no training. Leaving out the fact that James Shaw Jr. is 29 years old in his prime, in excellent shape, and he has male testosterone coursing through his veins. The martial arts should be trying to make us all like Mr. Shaw Jr. because the rest of us are not 29-year-old young black men who are athletic and in their prime. I was one once, but I'm not now. So whatever we can do to get back to that, if we ever had it in the first place, is worth your time and effort. So my hat is off to that young man. I wish him all the best. And you know, you see how he had that scrape on his arm? Trolls will say, well, that proves that in the hand, all you need is a gun. So, trolls, naysayers, by troll logic, then guns don't work. And we should throw away all military-style rifles because someone without combat training was able to disarm someone with a gun, right? Right? So what I hope is, I hope more martial artists study this story, look at what James Shaw Jr. did, see if there's any way we can implement this and take lessons from it. But one thing I'm going to say that I definitely got from this story, besides the stuff that I know, because like I said about don't grab the metal part, grab the plastic part, that was beaten to my head. That's why I know. He said he just acted. He didn't stop to think. He just reacted and he just went. That reminds me of how it says in a Kagakure, a samurai should behave as if he's already dead. In other words, don't stop and think. You figure you're going to die, or if they're going to die, he said in another interview, hey, if he's going to kill me, he's going to have to work for it. Sometimes you can't stop and think and try to plan. Sometimes you have to just do. You just have to react, and you have to do whatever you need to do to survive. So if the martial arts can help us develop that type of indomitable spirit that God has blessed him with, then I say the martial arts are worth it. And I also say I commend this guy again. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Whether he wants to be one or not, in my opinion, James Shaw Jr. is a hero. And peace. Thank you for your time.